M is for Mason.
G is for Graham.
B for Betcha.
This is the MGB Wrestling Podcast, the podcast with PG-rated material accessible to wrestling fans of all ages.
My name is Graham Bagshaw, and my co-host and creator of this podcast is proof that wrestling fans live with their parents. My 10-year-old son, Mason.
Alright, we're going to do a slightly different episode than what we planned. We intended to just do Raw and SmackDown, and then a last minute thing, Sunday, Saturday night, I found a flyer that we picked up from Nova Pro. Talked about something called Fury Pro Wrestling. We missed the first one because it was on Commonwealth Cup weekend, and we'd already been to 3 events in 2 days. And we didn't think we could go to a 4th one in 3 days. And we saw it, and it said on the front, limited seating available. And anyway, we decided to go, and we'll talk about it more in a second, but we're going to do that, Fury Pro Wrestling. We'll do the quiz, and then we'll take it from there. All right, so we saw on the thing, it said limited seating available. I tried to buy tickets, and you couldn't buy them online because it was the day of the show when I tried to do it. I looked on Twitter, and it said, turn up, they've got tickets at the door. All right, do you want to talk about what happened, Mason, or trying to get there, when we got there?
So, your GPS actually didn't pick it up?
No, it didn't. It didn't pick it up at all, which was a problem.
That was a problem, so we had to use your Google Maps on your phone.
Yeah.
But that wasn't really working either because it
worked for most of the way.
Yeah, it wasn't really picking you up, though.
It was supposed to be like an hour away, and it was fine until we got to the exit where we came off on 270. It was in Rockville, Maryland. We should have explained that probably at the start. And as soon as I turned off the exit, it just lost where we were. It had no idea what road we were on, and yeah, it took a while. You basically had to do the directing because it kept losing where we were. It had no idea.
And maybe eating like 4 for 4 from Wendy's might have made the car ride a whole lot better because that was really good. And I didn't really think it was that bad because I guess I was eating my 4 for 4 and didn't really see many bad things.
Yeah, and I'd actually gone to see the Liverpool-Manchester City first half of that game, and then you came and joined me, and then we headed straight to there because we had to get going at that time because you were somewhere else. Forgive me. And then when we actually were within even a few hundred yards, it's like, where is this place? All we could see was like a business center. And I kept going, is it this one? Because I didn't have the number. And you're like, I don't know, I can't see it. And then finally we saw a sign that said, this number is right. So we turned in there, and then there was no cars. There was like 2 cars. And we only got there 5 minutes before door open, 3 minutes before door open. Not much. And then we pulled up right outside, and it said, I saw one door, and it said exit only.
So exit is usually the backwards, so we went the other side, which we thought was backwards, which ended up being the front. And then what we thought was the front was backwards.
It was, and it was kind of weird. Even when we got around the back, there's not really any cars there. It's like a side road. We saw one other person, and there was a door that was open. And there was a sign that said, actually, Fury Pro Wrestling, so we knew we got there. And then when we walked in through the door, there's just like a ton of wrestlers stood there as well. It was kind of really weird when we got in there.
You get there, you can walk straight forward and keep going, or you can take a left. And we were standing next to one of the camera guys, and he told us to go left. And then we went there, and then we found where the...
Well, I remember apologizing as well, because I'm like, oh, I'm sorry, I think we've come in the wrong entrance. He's like, no, you're good. But here, let me take you down. We never would have found it. It just didn't look obvious. There was no signs inside to tell you where to go. And then as soon as we actually got to the door, there was nobody ahead of us. So we went straight up. And as soon as you walked into the ring, it was small.
Yes.
It wasn't an arena at all.
35 seats.
I think I counted 35 seats. And probably those 35, 28 were on one side. There was like 2 rows of 14. And then on the other side, there was like 4 and a 3 or something around that size. No seats to the left and to the right. It was just front and back. And so we got front row. We got there pretty early. There was 2 people that had reserved seating. And I think they said that they bought their tickets a month ahead of time. One of the guys was a big Sue Young fan, which was one of the reasons we went. We knew Sue Young was going to be on the card. A few people from Nova Pro as well. That was the other appeal of it.
Also, the ring was... like, somebody could barely fit. Like, roof was not very high either, so you wouldn't really see many dives. And, like, later, Shotzi Blackheart, she dived, and she had to crouch down, then dive. So
Yeah, you couldn't jump up to get extra height on like a frog splash or something like that. But they had lights there as well, which was kind of cool actually. That must have really helped like the camera people and the photographers who were there. But yeah, we realized straight away we're going to be right next to the action, and it was really cool. And then you kept pointing out like, "Hey, did you notice that?" I was like, "Oh no, I didn't notice that." They had one of those cameras that's on like the swing thing that you can move around to change the angle. They had the fixed camera. We were sat right directly facing the fixed camera. Now I looked to see if I could find anything like, do they do videos or anything? I can't see anything. I cannot see anything online that says they release, because they've already had one event. This was the second event, as we said. I can't find anyway how to get that first video, so I don't know. It's kind of strange. And we got there about 30 minutes earlier, and then we realized, hey, we need to go to the restroom. And even finding that was difficult. I asked the lady, and she's like, yeah, go through the door, take a left. And then I'm right there next to there was the ladies' locker room. It's like, make sure you don't go in there or whatever. And then there were some guys talking about their match and what they were going to actually do. And then there was another group. I saw Lainey look there as well. There was another room you could see the referees. And then finally there was a little sign that said restroom.
Yeah, so I went outside the building and I looked forward and I saw a little paper that said restroom that way.
Yeah.
So I followed the signs and it was pretty easy for me.
Yeah. There was more restrooms though. There was like one urinal, one stall, and
it was small.
Yeah, it was. It was very
kid-friendly.
Small. It was very kid-friendly. It would have suited Jackson just fine. It was very low to the ground. Now, it was kind of weird. I think the building, it actually said when I looked later, because, you know, you can check in on Twitter where you are. It was some sort of television company. So I don't know if they use that as like a filming area or something. I don't know. Now, the thing that I still can't quite figure out is, it was $20 to get in, which I thought was great. You were only $10, which they didn't even advertise, which I thought was really cool. So if it was 35 seats, $20 a person, $700. They had 7 matches. Some of them were tag team matches as well. They probably had about 20 wrestlers there. I don't know where they're getting their money from. I don't know how they're paying them. Or they're really paying them so low. I don't know. I know there's merchandise as well. And we don't even know. Somebody said they must be making it from selling videos. I don't know. I have no idea. Now, next week, and I've hinted about this on Twitter, we actually have, and I don't know how you pronounce his name yet. I think it's James Vukovic, his name, the Iron Serb, who actually runs his own wrestling company in England, in Wolverhampton, Wolf Run Wrestling. I'm really curious to ask him about the finances, like how do you set up a system? His tickets are even cheaper. I found out his tickets are only £6, so that's like $9. So I'm really curious
For an adult?
Yeah, I'm really curious how they actually put this together. So we might find out a little bit more next week. We didn't figure it out in the end, really. So I really don't know. But yeah, we're glad that we got there on time, and yeah, it was really cool. We really enjoyed it. We actually said as we got there, this is kind of cool. We don't have to take any notes. We got so used to when we go to an event now that we take notes, and then we say we can just watch it. Now, the only reason we put this together afterwards is I took a picture of every match so I could try and remember who was actually in it. And we said straight away, we want to review this because we thought it was really good. Now, as far as I know, a lot of people do Nova Pro. Yes. I don't think a lot of people necessarily review Nova Pro, but there's a lot of events like that talk about Nova Pro and stuff. I don't know anybody that talks about Fury Pro yet. So as far as I can tell, we might be the first people that actually get to do Fury Pro wrestling. Kind of cool if we could find that first video and then we could review that too. Mm-hmm. But anyway, we got Fury Pro to start with. All right, match 1. I have no idea who's in match 1, to be honest. I have question mark versus, and I don't think it's Ron Holiday, but I think it's Ron somebody.
Okay, that other dude, that guy that won, he reminds me of somebody, but I just can't put it together.
That's really helpful.
I just can't put 2 and 2 together. I think he's from Impact.
Oh, okay. I don't know who it is. I didn't know who it was. But basically, anyway, for the first one, I didn't really pay that much attention to it. It was a back and forth. They both had a bit of offense. Ron was definitely the face. The other guy was definitely the heel. It was kind of weird with 35 people because you needed somebody to get the crowd going. And luckily, the person next to us, who we recognized from Nova Pro, he was pretty good at getting the clap going. And once he started, everybody sort of joined in. If he hadn't have been there, it would have been kind of a different atmosphere. Because I'm not the person that gets it started. I'm all right clapping if somebody else is clapping, but I'm not the person who gets it started. Or he'd be like, come on, Ron!
I don't really like I don't really like doing, like, when somebody says something mean to me or something, I don't really like saying many mean things back.
Are you talking about wrestling?
Yeah, like when the wrestlers, like, say...
when you're talking trash.
Like the heels are talking trash. I don't really like saying... It's just, I don't know, it's just...
Fine, that's fine. All right, so we don't really have much for the first match. We have more for the second match, because actually now we're starting to get into people who we recognise from Nova Pro a little bit more. So match 2 was Lady Frost, escorted by Victor Benjamin, versus Solo Darling. All right, in Nova Pro style, what you got for this one, Nathan?
I have Solo Darling without Officer Magnum.
We saw a little dog, but I don't think it was
Yes.
Officer Magnum.
And when Lady Frost came out, she had her hands cupped, and she opened them and blew some like little frost bites.
Oh, she did little frost bites. Oh, I missed that. I think I was more interested in Victor Benjamin's hat. His hat was really cool. It's got like all futuristic and stuff,
cool,
and a blue light, and it looked really good. Now we saw them. Actually, we missed part of that match because they first appeared at Sink or Swim, and it was one where there was like 15 matches, and we were like, we need a break. We missed a match, and that was their match. Now they've been at Nova Pro, I think, 2 more times since, so we have seen them since. They follow both of us on Twitter, actually. I remember Lady Frost saying, "Hey, if you follow me, I'll follow you back." And I was like, "Well, we're following you anyway because it's a Nova Pro thing." So I made sure that you followed her and she followed you back. So I kind of get to see I get to see quite a few of their things that pop up on Twitter. They work really well together. They actually sometimes reverse the role. I think at Nova Pro it's been more the other way around. I think Lady Frost has walked out with Victor Benjamin. So it was kind of cool to see the reverse of that as well. She was kind of mean to him. I thought she was kind of bossy. She made sure he put the rope down so she could climb through. I know she's a lady, but it was she was a little bit mean to him. And Solo, once again, is definitely the face for this one. She got big cheers when she came into the ring.
But in real life, Lady Frost is really nice.
She is really nice. And I don't know if you remember, she actually appeared on, I think it was Raw. Yeah, she did. She had a match against Asuka. Now, I remember at the start, Lady Frost was telling Solo Dollar to back up. Because she was right, not in opposite corners, and she was like over halfway across them. And she's like, no, back. So they were talking a little bit of trash at the start. I know there was a Boston crowd because I have a good picture of Solo Darling trying to get the better of that.
Whenever somebody says Boston crowd, I remember Eddie Edwards, his Boston knee party move.
Okay. Now, also in this one, Victor Benjamin, being the heel, often kept interfering. Whenever Solo Darling got the advantage, he would like reach in and do something to distract Solo, or he was even trying to grab Lady Frost's hand and sort of pull her across to the ropes. The ref was pretty weak in this. They did talk to the ref like, "Come on, ref, do your job." Or there were very slow counts as well. People were complaining in the crowd that they weren't counting quick enough. I have the finish, and that's about it.
I just remembered something for Lady Frost. I didn't even really notice that Solo Darling is really strong.
Oh, she's very strong. When she like flexes her arms, her muscles, she's got really strong arms. Yeah, I didn't notice it the first time, but each time you see her a little bit more, you certainly notice. Okay. All right. Well, for the finish then, it was Victor Benjamin. Solo Darling was about to win. And then Victor Benjamin provided the distraction, and then Lady Frost took advantage.
Oh yeah, we saw one of the announcers, or the guy sitting next to the ring announcer, give him a screwdriver.
Oh, he did. He put that down on the side of the ring, and we're like, all right, we know what's going to happen here. And actually, they stopped it. They took that away, and that wasn't the end. So they did a little swerve on how they were going to interfere. But yeah, Victor Benjamin basically got in the way. All right, match 3. So 2 heels win so far, we noticed, which was like, well, we weren't expecting that. We wanted to like cheer the faces and like, hey, and then all the others like, boo. So match 3, we've got Gemma Cross versus Penelope Ford. Now, on the way, you were asking me who's appearing at this one, and I kept getting it mixed up. I kept thinking it was Nikki Cross. Is it Nikki Cross?
Yes.
I had to ask you about 3 times, and every time I tried to think of a name, I kept saying Gemma Cross.
The weird thing was, you said something Cross. And I have no idea who Gemma Cross was, and I said Gemma Cross.
That was really weird.
I don't know how I knew her name. I seriously don't know. I just thought I heard the name before, but I knew Nikki Cross.
That was weird, because I asked you, and you said Gemma Cross. I'm like, how did you know Gemma Cross? Because I didn't recognize the name at all. Like you said, it was a total accident.
Let's see if you paid attention. What group was Nikki Cross in before they moved up to WWE?
You asked me this, and I said I always get it mixed up. I know Eric Young's in it. It's Sanity, right?
Yes.
And I was having problems with remembering that as well.
Oh yeah, in your plot, I remember in the car that you were forgetting who the other person in Undisputed Era was. It's Bobby Fish.
Oh, and that was funny because I actually when I tried to find Nikki Cross's name, I couldn't remember her name. I went to the NXT roster and I scrolled down. And there was a woman whose name, it was alphabetical. I think there's a woman called Aaliyah, who I've never heard of. There was Bobby Fish, and I was like, I wonder who Bobby Fish is. I have no idea who that is. And then I found Nikki Cross, and then later you told me, like, oh, I remembered who the other person was. So it was kind of funny how we were thinking about random thoughts, and they all came together in the end for that one. Gemma Cross facing Penelope Ford, who we've seen several times at Nova Pro. Well, I think at least 2 times anyway. She's a very bad girl. I think that's always her thing. She climbs to the top rope and she's like, I'm a bad girl. And
It's like Ronda Rousey. She says that she's the worst woman on the planet, but she's really nice in the ring.
Well, Penelope Ford was actually, it appeared like she was more of the face in this one.
Yeah,
when we've seen
she's
at
a
Nova
bad
Pro,
girl.
she wasn't, though. She was the heel. But I think Gemma Cross was more of a heel.
The other thing I didn't get was she's a bad girl and she breaks the hold at. She broke one of her holds at 2.
Huh.
I thought it would have been like 4.5, and then the ref would have been like, "You had to break at 5." I mean, when I say 2 or something.
Now,
like that.
you reminded me of something I'd forgotten about Gemma Cross, because she kept saying, I'm in training or something like that.
Yeah,
so suggesting
they
she
were
was a new
trained.
wrestler. But when the ref came across, she's like, no, you don't need to tell me the rules. I know you have to break at 4. And the ref goes, well, actually, you got to break at 5. Because she was breaking at 3 at that point. So that was kind of an interesting one. I don't know how real that was and how much that was played into the act. But I kind of like that as well. That you got that character that doesn't always know what they're doing, but I thought that was kind of an interesting one.
Sounds like they're training together.
Could be. Now, one thing particular I have for this match, well, I don't have anything written down. None of us have anything written down. Normally, well, this is all from the top of our heads, which is probably why it's a little bit more random than Nova Pro. I do remember at one point, there was points when it was deathly silent. And this was one of them. And I heard one of them say, head scissors. But not as loud as that. And I was like, oh, okay. And then they threw across the ring, bounced back, and sure enough, she did a head scissors and threw it. And everyone was like, hey! And I was like, I heard that. I know we were right near the front. Now, that actually gave me a thought that I'd never thought of before. Now, we've heard of people talking moves before, right? Because they whisper into their ears a little bit. When the crowd or when the wrestler goes, and then everyone else starts to clap, is that so? When there's that noise, you can actually, it gives that distraction. You're focused on clapping, right? But then, while there's the noise, you can whisper while it's that. But when it's deathly silence, you can't do it. I don't know. I don't know if that's why they do it, but it was something that made me think about that in the middle of that
While
match.
I was reading my Mick Foley book, he said that him and another wrestler, it was his first match.
Okay.
He wanted to be in a Royal Rumble just to dip his feet and not dive all the way in for a real match.
Uh-huh.
They changed it. He had a real match. He was talking with his opponent, and I think it was a WWE superstar, but not at that point. I was talking with him, and then he said he learned like a couple of moves, and it was a frog splash.
Okay.
And in the match, and they were each thinking of different ones. Mick Foley, he had his head down, ready for to do the second frog splash, and the other one just ran forward, and they were thinking of the 2 different types of frog splashes, and they clanged heads.
I thought Penelope Ford was really good at this match.
Yeah.
She's been up against some really strong people in Nova Pro, and she's often come off second best. I was really impressed with this. I would definitely like to see more of Penelope Ford. I thought Gemma Cross played a good role in this. I don't remember the exact finish. I'm going to guess it wasn't a clean win, but Gemma Cross got the win.
Yes.
And I have no idea why. And we're like 3 heels in a row? Are you kidding me? All right, match 4. We knew all these people. Emma Lou and Jordan Blade versus Kylie Ray and Lainey Love.
Oh, yeah.
And I knew all these people were going to be in this match.
I had a tag team name for Harlow O'Hara and Emma Lou, which I really hope they actually make that tag team. Harlow Lou, yeah. I really like that tag team.
Emma Lou and Jordan Blade have fought together at Nova Pro, and now they're fighting at Fury Pro as well. Now, the interesting thing from my point of view was, last time they fought at Nova Pro, they were started off, it was a brand new team, but then at the end of the match, they were actually fighting against each other. Yeah. Then they fought in that gauntlet match one after each other, but this one, they were clearly heels, that was for sure, and that wasn't necessarily true of the other one. But no, they were definitely a team, and they weren't arguing with each other. Kylie Ray has to be a face, and so does Lainey Luck as well. They're just such positive. I don't think they could play heel right now. I know we thought Becky Lynch was surprising when she turned heel. Can you imagine Kylie Ray turning heel right now? It's almost unimaginable to me.
Yeah, it's kind of hard to be mean for her, because on her shin guards or whatever, it says "Smiley Kylie."
It did, and we had that cheer a couple of times within the match.
Absolutely love Emma Lou as a heel.
I thought she was really good.
I don't really like her as a face. I like her as a heel.
I liked her much better as a heel, and Jordan Blade too. Now, I know Emma Lou, I don't know how long she's been wrestling, but I know on Twitter she's fairly new on Twitter at that point. When we saw that she was wrestling, I remember I always had the Nova Pro people straight away. So, but yeah, she developed a lot since we'd last seen her. She looked a lot stronger in the ring. Her trash talking was good as well, because she was talking to the crowd when we were cheering Smiley Kyle. It's like, shut up, shut up. I thought she was really good as well. I totally agree. I much prefer those two as heels than I do as faces. And Kylie Ray and Laney got the win, obviously.
Yes.
The match went back and forth. There was trash talking in there. Obviously, the heels were cheating. They would have two people in the ring at the same time, and whenever the faces tried to do that, nothing happened. And the ref was, of course, totally useless in this one as well. But no, it was fun. I actually remember one more thing at the start. It was like when they were in the ring there, they're trying to decide who's going to go. Kylie, can I go first? I want to go first. Is that okay? Can I go first? And Laney was like, yeah, sure. And then the other girls mocked her. And Jordan was like, oh, no, actually, Emma Lou came in. Oh, I want to go first. And I think they did. And then before the match had even started, did they do like a fake tag straight away on the back? And they were like, oh, you're switching? And they're like, yeah, all right, we're switching. And then Kylie was like, okay. And then they were getting ready to start again. And then they did another tag and they switched straight back up again. That's not the only thing I remember from this
Kylie's
match.
always super happy when she gets it. And after Laney gave her a tag, she's like, oh, it's my turn.
She's really positive. The other thing I noticed after that match, there was a ton of glitter on the ring as well. Remember, it was like shining from all the stuff that they got. And that actually took us into the intermission. Now, at the intermission, we were like, oh, they're not even going to sell merch. Like, there's nowhere to go. And they actually put the merch on the side of the ring, which I thought was pretty cool, actually. I kind of like that.
And I get to touch the ring apron. Not hard.
No, it's not at all.
Everyone says that it's the hardest part of the ring.
Yeah, I feel cheated on that.
Fake fact. Ring post.
Yeah, no, and I totally believe that. Like, I know wrestling's fake, but I totally believe that was the hardest part of the ring. Yeah, it wasn't. It was soft.
No.
The ring was nice as well. You're like, hey, feel the ring. I'm like, oh, wow, that's really cool. Really you can sleep on that. That was nice. I'm sure when you're slammed on it, it still hurts.
Yeah.
But it's not. It wouldn't hurt as much as we would have thought it would have hurt.
And the ring post, it's like really hollow inside.
Now, I haven't touched the ring at Nova Pro. You did, because I think you were allowed to stand against it once because I took a picture. But I don't remember if you actually touched.
No, I didn't.
You just leant against it.
Yes.
But yeah, no, I'd always believed it was the hardest part, and it wasn't.
It makes sense.
Yeah.
That you make the ring post hollow, so it doesn't hurt when you get slammed against it.
That's hollow?
Yeah, it was hollow.
Oh, okay. All right. I couldn't tell that.
It was hollow.
Okay. All right. So in the intermission, one of the big things with this is there were certain people who we'd missed at Nova Pro who we did want to get merch from. Sue Young, we definitely wanted to see.
Yeah.
Sue Young never came out. Now, we had a little bit of money, but not too much. But we went to go around. We tried to get Penelope Ford, but she was very popular. A lot of people were talking to her. I think we tried to get hers second, I think it was. All right, do you want to tell us who we did manage to get, though?
We did get Chauncey Blackheart.
We did, and you missed that match because you were in Ohio. She fought Jordan Grace, and I thought she was brilliant. And she hadn't actually fought at this point. She was actually going to fight in the match straight after the intermission with Sarah Calloway. I thought she was really good. I hope she comes back.
Autograph said #eat pizza.
Oh, it did, yeah.
Yeah, it was weird.
Because I saw the Z and thought it was Shotzi to begin with. Because we were going to ask her what type of pizza. So I don't know that one.
And when she was entering the ring during her match, she was doing the wolves.
Uh-huh.
And I thought her music should be Hungry Like the Wolf.
Oh, Duran Duran, classic song. That would be. Now, I don't know about that. And that's another thing I want to ask when we got our guest on next week. What's the rules for playing music? Like, are you allowed classic music? Do you have to pay a fee? Like on podcasts, I think you're allowed to pay like 15 seconds and you don't have to pay anything.
Or it could be like Tommaso Ciampa.
Oh, you could have. Of course, if you WWE.
Well, before he had his music.
If you WWE, it doesn't matter. You pay for the song because you can afford to do it. But for everybody else, I'm not quite sure. Chelsea was really cool. We took like 3 pictures. One of them, it looks like she's about to bite you on one of them. And the other one, she's like growling on it. But it looks pretty cool. We should have asked the helmet. Yeah. I wish you'd have worn the helmet because we got a picture of her wearing the helmet. So I thought the fees were pretty good as well. Considering some of these are top indie female wrestlers, I thought the prices were once again very fair compared to what I've seen at Comic-Con and different places like that where you go. They can be, or VCW when we went.
Didn't you say like Elijah Burt? No, Elijah Drake. $80 for a selfie and a.
It was something like that. It might have been 40 for one, or it might have been 35. It was expensive though. It was like, there's no way we're paying that sort of fee. Crazy. So that was the first one. So Shotzi. All right, who do we get next?
Oh, after Shotzi, we got Lady Frost and Benjamin.
We did, and we saw they had pictures, but they only had individual ones. So we asked them, "Hey, do you have one with?"
Oh yeah, and Victor Benjamin. He's really good at business. He said, or you can just buy one of me and one of Lady Frost.
Well, I said if I only buy one, one of you's going to make one of you feel really bad. I wanted one. They were definitely a team.
Yes.
Like if you had a tag team, you wouldn't want just one of that teammate. That wouldn't make any sense. Like, you wouldn't want just, so we got both of them.
And it was you got 2 autographs for $10.
You did. We got 2 for the price of 1. We always ask if they'll autograph, and they always do. They like that. And then we get the picture with it, and that's a pretty cool picture. Now, we did mention that you have a podcast, and we mentioned that they followed you on Twitter. And then I was too close, so I actually backed up behind and took a picture. All right, go on, because I missed this at the end. What do you think happened?
I thought that Lady Frost had called them up or something like that.
No, I didn't hear. My hearing's not good anyway, but I wasn't there for that. So you're telling me we might have had some possible podcast guests here. We might have been able to get the Savage Gentleman and Lady Frost, but you're not sure. And I asked them later, I said, hey, you could always go and ask them, did you say? But you chose not to. So anyway, I guess we'll never know unless they actually listen to this. And of course, they can directly tweet you anyway, Mason. So if they want to be on the MGB Wrestling podcast, we would love to have them on. They were really cool to talk to, and we'd definitely like to find out more. Yeah, they were. They were really nice. I know they've got some good, cool stories because I heard them talk also on the Big Gold Belt podcast. All right, so after the end, we got one more person. We had a little bit of money left. So who do we? Well, actually, this person I actually wanted really high up, but she was really busy as well. Last autograph we got at this point?
We got Kylie Ray.
We did. We got Smiley Kylie, and actually, you got a little hug from this one as well. She was like, "Can I give you a hug? I'm a little bit sweaty." So she gave you, because I know you collect silly stuff, and I said, "Well, that's fine, because that's one of your souvenirs." So you've got some Kylie Ray sweat somewhere, right? Or you shaking his head right now? He's getting all shy. Is that washed off then? All right, that's all washed off. And Kylie was really nice, as you would expect. Her, as far as I can tell, her real persona is her wrestling persona, and that was really cool to see. We told her we saw her at Nova Pro as well. We picked out the picture where she was wearing the same outfit. It's the Pikachu character. Right? Yeah. She tends to wear those Pokemon characters. And at this point, though, actually, the ref's like, we got like 5 minutes, and we're waiting behind these 2 guys. It's like, you got 2 minutes. I'm like, oh my gosh, you better, guys, can you quickly get a picture with us so we can talk to her as well? But yeah, we got a nice picture, we got an autograph, we got all that stuff. And then that was it. We didn't have time for anyone else, and I had $7 left. So that was cool. I was happy. We got 3 autographs, good price. I thought it was one of their best intermissions. We got to talk to everybody. It was great, no problem. Then we went back 5 steps to our seat because we were so close. And then we went to match 5. Tara Calloway came out first and versus Shotzi Blackheart, and I knew both of these characters. You knew Tara pretty well because she's been in several matches there. Anything for this match?
No.
I remember Tara Calloway obviously came out with her dinosaur helmet, as she always does. Now, I actually thought this could be a squash match. Tara often crushes people so quickly. She won that gauntlet match really well. She didn't. She knocked out 4 people and then lost in the end. Shotzi really stood up to her well. She went for a knee. She managed to get on the ground, which doesn't happen very often. I do remember one thing right at the start. Shotzi ran off the ropes and ran into Tara, and it did absolutely nothing except knock Shotzi on her back. And she's like, what were you thinking? Did you really think that was going to do anything? And at that point, I was like, oh, good grief. Tara's going to win this one. It's going to be like 4 heel wins. But Shotzi had some good offense. I thought she was a really good wrestler, and I was really pleased to see her again.
Didn't you say somebody had, like, graffiti on the Jewish Community Center, and then she's going to...
Yes. Saturday morning, somebody reported the JCC. Somebody had actually written some graffiti on the outside, and the police have got it on camera, but I don't think they can tell who it is. I don't know how much it's going to cost to either. I don't know if you can scrub it off straight away, if it's like paint or something. I don't know how difficult that is. But no, Tara Calloway did announce that at the next Nova Pro event, some proceeds from her merch is actually going to go and help to do that. And they actually were offering.
I guess we got to have her autograph.
So we'll definitely get her autograph at that next one there. And I saw her there, and I was like, I would, but I need to wait. We need to wait for that one, because we'll do it on that one, and then we can help chip into the JCC a little bit. Yeah, it's not like the first time either. It's like the second or third time. It's nothing to do with the wrestling fans at all. It's people in that community who are just causing problems right now, and it's a real shame. They do a great job there. We've always been very welcome when we've gone there. It's a great venue. Hopefully they can sort that out. And yeah, Shotzi got the win. And thoroughly deserved it as well. It was really nice to see somebody actually make Tara look vulnerable for once. Shotzi's really good. I put her right up there. I thought she was fantastic. All right, match 6. We think it was the Fight Championship. Now, you said heavyweight. I thought it was middleweight or light heavyweight.
Fight heavyweight.
I thought it was light heavyweight. All right, never mind. We know it's Tanner Reynolds and we think it's Ernie Osiris as well. We had to do a little bit of.
I know it's Ernie.
We kept guessing a little bit, like, isn't it like Tucker? And then it's like, oh no, Tanner. And then it was like, I think it's like something. And anyway, we figured these two out.
Oh yeah.
So Reynolds was the current champion.
Yeah, Tanner Reynolds. He came out with a Johnny Cash shirt.
He did.
But who's that?
It's a singer, a famous singer, country singer. He used to have like a cowboy hat on. He does a few songs. Boy Called Sue is one of his famous songs as well.
Did he come out to one of his?
Ring of Fire is one of his.
Oh, I know that song.
You probably, if I played some, you would recognize him. Mommy and me both like him. Now, the thing about Tanner was he was the champion. It was actually, they announced it was a 60-minute match. But there was 3 different falls. You had to get to 2, but there was like a different stipulation for each one. So was the first one like it had to be a submission or something, or it had to be a pinfall? It had all sorts of different regulations.
It was like a regular match, but they only said like pinfall and submission, and the second fall was by countout. The first one was by knockout, and they didn't say knockout.
Okay,
they said
pinfall because he did a cheap shot and took him out, and he did. He lied down and he didn't think he was going to get him, and he counted, and then it was like, oh my gosh, that was 10. That was only like 1 minute into the match. When the ref wasn't looking, it was like a cheap shot and took him out. So Tanner got the first one, and then you're thinking, well, this is going to be over pretty quickly then. And actually, Ernie got the next one, so it was 1-1. The whole match was over 10 minutes, 15 minutes, even though it was best of 3. And then Ernie actually came on the mic. Now, I missed one thing. As he came in at the start of the match, he went out and he went over to a lady who was in the ring, like kissed her hand, and then got back into the ring.
Yeah, he gave her a necklace.
He gave her a necklace. And we're like, oh, that's kind of cool. And then he explained later. He also had on a T-shirt, the DARE, the drugs awareness. I don't remember the rest of it.
Do not give kids drugs.
That was the bottom part of it, correct. And he actually came in and he told us about his career. He said he was in Ring of Honor. At the start of his career, it didn't work out. Got into alcoholism and got into drugs by the sounds of it as well. And now he started to turn his life around. I don't know if that was his girlfriend or that was his wife, but he mentioned the fact that they were very special to him. This is always a very dangerous one. I think she was pregnant, so I think they might be having a child together as well, but I'm not sure. I really don't like commenting on things like that because if I'm wrong, that's really embarrassing. But he mentioned that they were like his life, so. But yeah, he turned it around. They also said it was like the last ever fight championship, but they never really explained that. No. So yeah, we don't really know. So, but he mentioned he was really happy that he was going to be the last one, and it was kind of a cool moment. The one thing that was very interesting was he was totally out of breath. Not surprisingly, when you're in a wrestling match, I think that's terrible when they give you a mic after a match. Pre-match, it's fine, but when you've been thrown around the room and you've had the wind knocked out of you, and he's trying, he's like, just give me a second, and then he carry on. It is tough to do. It really is. All right, anything else for this match?
No.
All right. And then after the match, he did introduce who that person was, that woman, so it made all sense in the end. All right, last match. This was the main event, match 7. Zoe Sky and Su Yung. Okay, what do you got for this
one? So Su Yung, she came out with the chair. I reached for a high five, and then she just had her chair and banged the guardrail.
She did. Now you don't watch Impact as much as I do. I tend to catch up on it. I'm like, oh, I got some time. Let me catch up, and I don't always get a chance for you to see it. So you're not really that familiar. Are you familiar at all with Su Yung?
Yes.
Okay.
I know who she is.
But you only know her a little bit, though, right?
I know her pretty well.
Okay, you've seen a lot of her matches?
Yes.
All right, fair enough. And I just seen the one where she actually got Kira Hogan in the coffin in the match before. I just watched a little bit more of it. Zoe Sky, I only know from Big Gold Belt podcast again. I've heard her interviewed. I've heard she's really good. I was excited to see how good she was. And yeah, like I said, I know Su Yung from Impact. I think that's a lot of people. Those guys next to us said they traveled from West Virginia to go and see her. That was the main thing. It was only an hour away. It was no more than what we were. I always think West Virginia's like hours away. It's only like an hour and a half away if you go to Harper's Ferry from where we are. It's not that far. And yeah, the guy said I think he told me he had 5 signed chairs by her. Because we talked about this later. What would you do with 5 signed chairs?
Sell 4, keep 1.
Yeah, I would have thought the same thing. And I know he's met her 9 times. He had a cap that said Su Yung fan, which I didn't even notice.
It said, I'm a Su guy.
Yeah, it was really obvious that he was a Su Yung fan. I felt kind of stupid for not even noticing it. And he had a T-shirt on that had Su Yung on it as well. Big fan. So I think it's worth it traveling an hour to see one of your favorite wrestlers.
Yeah, that would be cool.
I think for him, it was his favorite wrestler.
Yeah, I would travel an hour to go see Roman Reigns.
Well, we traveled 3 hours to go and see Eli Drake. And like one of our first events we ever went to. And I still don't mind traveling that far.
I think it's because we were new and we wanted to see somebody really big, but we already did see Sanjay Dutt.
We had seen Sanjay Dutt at that point. Eli Drake was the Impact champion at that point.
Yes.
We also knew the Ugly Ducklings were going to be there as well. That was factored in. And it's not supposed to be 3 hours. It's supposed to be like 90 minutes. But Friday traffic adds a bit of time on. I don't regret it at all. I thought it was brilliant. It was about 90 minutes on the way home.
That was cool. We got a picture with them too.
Yeah, no, I don't mind traveling that far at all. All right, so yeah, you tried to get a high five from her, and she was clearly the heel character for this. She's not going to respond to that. The zombie bridesmaid, I think, is her name. But yeah, that rattling of the chair along the railings is really cool. Now, that's another interesting thing. They have the railings there. Nova Pro, they just have like a cone with a piece of tape there, which is not going to provide anything. So, but it looked like the holes, if they did a suicide dive, it actually looked like they could have dived straight through the holes. I don't know, they were pretty wide. Come to think of it, I don't remember one suicide dive. And I think actually it was in that previous match, the Tanner Reynolds, and they didn't get even close to us in the end. So, yeah, even though we were super close to the action.
They're taking the fall.
Yeah.
They're like going straight down.
Yeah, I didn't feel, because often you feel like you're in danger.
Yeah.
I didn't feel in danger at all.
I noticed that wrestlers, to break the fall and not go into the fans, they stop their no momentum with ropes.
Yes.
Drop on the apron.
Yeah.
Use their feet and like pull themselves away from the fans, and then drop on the floor just straight down.
Sure. It's kind of a skill in its own right. When you got to think about all the wrestling, but you got to think about, oh gosh, I don't want to hit somebody in the audience. I don't want to kick somebody.
Yeah, like Triple H and Undertaker, when they're throwing a punch, who knows, some fan could just be absolutely dumb and getting right there.
Yeah, when they were when they were on the outside at the Super Showdown. Yeah, I agree. It's something you got to, when you're in the middle of a match, if you got to think about that as well, it definitely adds more to it. I'm trying to remember specific things about this match. I'm struggling. I remember Zoe Sky was really good. I remember Sue Young had moments as well. The Mist. Oh, I remember one thing now. They were on the far side of the ring. So they went out on the far side and we couldn't really see it. They put her on a chair, and then Sue Young went to the other side, and then she just ran and then hit her. And then she did that a few times. And then, like you said, on the apron, there was the Mist, because you'd not seen that at that point, I don't think. Or was it Red Mist?
It was a Red Mist. It was like...
She did some at the start of the match as well.
Yeah.
So
how did she keep it in her mouth?
Well, that's what we don't know. We asked that question. Like, did she just get rid of like half the mist and then she saved half, or did she refill at some point and we just didn't notice? I don't even remember how this one finishes, except I have Zoe Sky as the winner for this one.
Yeah, she missed her face, so it looked like she was bleeding, but it was just the red mist.
Yeah, she was just, and that must be. I didn't realize this at the time when that guy showed us his shirt. I assumed it was blood. It was obviously that red mist.
Yeah.
I didn't even
I wonder if it was real or her mist.
That I don't know. That I can't answer. And that was it. And then they concluded it. And then they said, all right, before you go, they're going to be more wrestlers are going to come out and sell their merch. And the guy said, oh, I wonder if Sue Young's going to come out at the end like she did last time. And we're like, oh, are you kidding me? We didn't know that. We just spent all our money at this point. And he said, do you want me to go back and check? The ref asked. And he said, yeah. He said to the ref, go and ask. So, actually, it wasn't the ref. It was like ref. It was the
ring announcer.
Correct. And he went back and said, yeah, Sue Young's coming out. I'm like, we have $7. I can't ask Sue Young if she's going to sign a photo for $7. But I was like, we could at least ask if she has, like, stickers or something. And we can get a picture with her. We actually had the card, which actually had the promo card. We could have got to sign that as well. Anyway, it didn't matter. Somebody got ahead of us, thankfully. And he handed her phone over. And I saw he was doing, like, PayPal with her, which is a way you can pay without money. So we asked her, and she said straight away, yeah, that's fine. So we did. We got what we wanted. We got a picture. We got stickers. She actually gave us a bonus sticker as well, which was really kind of us as well. Yeah, she grabbed 3 on accident, and then she said, just keep another one. Yeah, no, that was really cool. So the guy told us, he said she's like the nicest person. And somebody else said she's really nice. And we obviously didn't know, and we got out there, and she was straight out of character. She was still dressed up as the Sue Young character. She couldn't have been any nicer. And I was happy to confirm that to her when somebody said that you're really nice. I'm really pleased to say that you're... Yeah, she had plenty of time. Took some great pictures. She put a scarf around your neck and starts to strangle you, and you're there, I'm smiling. I think this is really cool.
I know, because I was having fun.
It was, and it was really nice. And I actually asked her, could I get a photograph as well? And I don't normally do that. Now, somebody reminded me, I thought I only had one picture with a wrestler. I thought it was Graham Bell, because I thought he sat next to me and I took a selfie. And then somebody reminded me, what about Mick Foley? I was like, oh yeah, I forgot Mick Foley. So I had to. I haven't been with the Ugly Ducklings for a photograph.
I thought you would have.
No, not yet.
Really?
No, not yet. No, it's very few. I didn't get Eli Drake. No, I took a picture of you. I always take a picture of you. The only one I got Graham Bell was because he was next to me, and it was kind of fun, and he was Graham, so I did that. Mick Foley, that was part of the deal that you got in there. He autographed something, you got a picture with him. So doesn't really count as much.
You really didn't get a picture with Eli Drake or Sanjay Dutt.
I couldn't for that one. I couldn't for Eli Drake. There was a lot of people there. We got a quick picture, and then I got out because everybody wanted Eli Drake.
Ellering?
No.
Oh wow.
No, I haven't got any of those.
Some good wrestlers.
No. Jonathan Gresham there as well, who I really like as well.
Jordan Grace,
Jordan Grace. No, all those. I don't. I always take a picture of you. And I'm okay with that. I'm quite happy to be the photographer. I don't need a picture. But Sue Young was different. And with that scarf, I was like, sure, I did that. Everyone else, she was like putting her arm out. And I thought she was going to do the same. But the scarf on you, I thought was great. So she did the same on me, and I actually sold it. I looked like I was choking.
I know, but I was having fun.
I was having fun. Like sticking my tongue out.
I couldn't look like I was choking because I was having so much fun.
And that was my photo. That was actually that's currently my Facebook profile picture.
Yours?
So I thought that was pretty cool. I like that picture. I thought it was fun. I sent it to my coworker. He thought it was Victoria from WWE. I said, I honestly don't remember. I didn't know who the picture was.
Oh yeah,
I didn't recognize Victoria.
Famous husband.
Oh. Now, I remember this. I remember the story, and I remember this person had a wrestler who was his wife, and I didn't know who it was.
I think I remember. Zack Ryder?
No, it's not. Oh. No, that's Chelsea Green.
Oh.
That's Chelsea Green. And that's still girlfriend, I think. Girlfriend, boyfriend.
Oh.
It's somebody who used to be in WWE, but is actually now in Impact, which makes sense. Rich Swann. Now, you probably didn't even know he was on Impact. He's moved across fairly recently.
Rich Swann?
So, yeah. Is it Rich Swann or Rick Swann? I think it's Rich. It is Rich, yeah. But, yeah, no, that's husband and wife. Mm-hmm. So that's probably better now if you're both in the same organization. That's going to be confusing if one's in Impact, because they used to film in Florida, and I think they used to film in Toronto. WWE could be anywhere. They could be over on the fast. At least if you're on the same organization, you can travel around together. Obviously, when you're on the independent, they film like 2 weeks. I think they film like a week at a time, and then you don't need to go back for 4 months or something like that because they film everything in one go. So that's kind of cool that those two are together and then can do that. I got a special quiz for you this week, okay? I was trying to think what to write, and then I suddenly thought, seems we're doing a whole episode on Fury Pro Wrestling, and we like to do predictions for matches. Why don't we go back to card 1? I actually have the whole card for the first Fury Pro Wrestling event. I'm going to read you the matches. You got to tell me who won, okay? Now, there's 7 matches. There is 1 tie, okay? So if you call one of the people, obviously that's not correct. If you call the other person, that's not correct as well. Of course, you don't have to pick tie for any if you don't want to, okay? And obviously you'll get that one question wrong, okay? Does that sound fair?
Yeah.
I'm picking in alphabetical order by their first name, okay? All right, the first match was Shotzi Blackheart and Zoe Sky.
Oh, that is hard.
That is very close.
Oh, that just makes sense. Zoe lost to Su Yung, and Zoe Sky could be like...
No, Zoe Sky beat Su Yung.
I mean, Su Yung lost to Zoe Sky, so she could be like taking Fury Pro Wrestling on her back, and she could say, I beat Shotzi and Su, so I'm going to Zoe.
Nice logic, and I thought for this one you might be able to figure it out from some of the ones. Correct, it was Zoe Sky. All right, next one. PB Smooth. Isn't that the guy we saw at AIW? Wasn't that who was...
Hornswoggle.
Isn't that his tag team partner?
Yes.
Okay. PB Smooth or Victor Benjamin? Because obviously PB Smooth wasn't there this time.
Benjamin.
Correct. 2 out of 2. All right, match 3. Gemma Cross or Luscious Latasha, who wasn't there this time.
Luscious Latasha. I'm going... What's the other one?
Gemma Cross.
Gemma Cross, I'm going her.
Correct. 3 out of 3. All right, match 4. Neither of these appeared, so this is going to be tough. Jenny Rose or Stella Gray?
Jenny Rose.
Correct. All right, next one. Kylie Ray or Lainey Luck?
Oh, tie.
Correct.
Yes.
Tie. James Ellsworth or Su Yung?
Oh, James. No, yeah, James. Because it's for the title.
Correct. 6. Jordan Grace.
That's not the main event?
Nope.
Oh,
Jordan Grace and Kelly. I'm surprised by that too, actually. Jordan Grace and Kelly Klein was a no contest because somebody interfered in that match, and it became a triple threat match. Actually, I'm not sure it was Jordan Grace and Kelly Klein. It was Jordan Grace and somebody. Anyway, so instead they had a triple threat match, which was, in all alphabetical order, Brittany Blake, Jordan Grace, or Kelly Klein. And the first 2 didn't appear this time. Actually, Kelly Klein appeared right at the end. We forgot to mention that. Zoe Sky was in the ring, and then Kelly Klein came out and got into the ring, talked a little bit of trash, and then just left.
So that's her last name.
Kelly Klein. Yeah, we couldn't remember. Thankfully, I figured out who it was.
So, Kelly Klein was injured. So I don't.
Well, I don't know. You said, why
won.
didn't she feature in this one? I said,
Yeah.
I don't know. I said she could be.
I don't think she won because she would be out there bragging or something.
Okay.
Jordan Grace and Brittany Blake. So I'm going Jordan.
Nope, Brittany Blake. 6 out of 7, but that's pretty good. I think you might be getting one back on your brother on this one. Seeing as you've been behind, I thought I'd help you out on this one. I thought you could figure some of these out from what you've heard. And I actually heard some of these talked about as well. I knew some of these results. We helped Paul Tolley the other week by picking his favourite topic, so I thought I'd help you out a little bit.
Hi, Jackson. Thank you for the call out. My daddy's definitely not going to run the 4-year-olds.
All right, Jay. Match 1. Shotzi Blackheart or Zoe Sky?
Joey Sky.
Correct. Match 2. PB Smooth or Victor Benjamin?
Victor Benjamin.
Correct. Match 3. Gemma Cross or Luscious Latasha?
Luscious Natasha.
Nope. Match 4. Jenny Rose or Stella Gray?
Stella Gray.
Nope. Match 5. Kylie Ray or Lainey Luck?
Kylie Ray.
It was a tie, unfortunately, so no, you don't get that one. James Ellsworth or Sue Young?
Sue Young.
Nope, it was James Ellsworth. And then the last one, Brittany Blake, Jordan Grace, or Kelly Klein?
Jordan Grace.
It was Brittany Blake. All right, you got 2 out of 7. Mason got 6 out of 7. So who was the winner?
Mason.
Mason was the winner. Yep. So the score now is, I believe, 6.5 to 2.5. Okay. All right. Thank you, Jay.
It's goodbye from me.
And it's goodbye from him.
Goodbye.
The music was ZigZag by Kevin MacLeod at incompetech.com, licensed under Creative Commons by Attribution 3.0, http://creativecommons.org/licenses/by/3.0.